Hi, my name is Jason. This is my family, and we love to travel to the beach, or the lake,
in the forest,
on the coast,
to the mountains, and even deep underground. I hope you come along as we travel all around our home state of California, the greater United States, and beyond. We invite you to come join us as we go exploring. Well, anyone that knows me and my family knows that one of our favorite places to travel to is
Disneyland!
And in 2019, we had a lot of opportunities to visit, including a birthday celebration in January, spring break with the kids, our first trip to Galaxies Edge to build a lightsaber, and even a spontaneous stop during our summer RV trip. Let's start at the beginning of the year, where we went with Jody's whole family to celebrate her dad's 80th birthday.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. Oh, you got your...
We got a chance to ride some of our favorites, including Peter Pan, and Big Thunder Mountain. We always wave to Papa. Hi, Papa. On this trip, we saw that the castle was being renovated. We'll see that again later. We also rode some of our not-so-favorite rides, like the Matterhorn bobsled.
Jack. Yeah, I know. Like 3 times I'm all, ow, ow.
Maybe don't work on
When you think of the Matterhorn.
What did you not like all the Yeti going? Did you not like it when you...
Did you not like it when it went BAM into your back and then
I didn't like it.
That's the part I didn't like.
I didn't remember the second Yeti.
Before we ended this trip, we had a birthday lunch and sang to Papa. Then Kira had a run-in with an umbrella while in line for a churro.
Okay, now you can start singing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Papa. Happy birthday to you. What was your wish?
Just the 80 more years.
Make a wish.
So you tell me what happened?
Well, I was waiting in line to get a churro, and today was like really windy, and so the wind came, and it was like banging everything around, and I wasn't really thinking anything of it at the time, and then I look up, and I see, well, because there was an umbrella on the roof of the churro stand, and so I looked up, and I saw the umbrella was like in the sky because the wind had picked it up. But I thought that it had been attached to something, so I didn't like try to get out of the way. But then I realized that it wasn't, so I started trying to get out of the way, and the umbrella had reached the ground at that point, and it was falling over this way, and I was running that way, and so I didn't make it, like I didn't run fast enough, I guess, and so the metal thing on the top hit me in the back.
Ew.
You okay?
Yeah, it was just really scary.
The nurse checked you out and everything?
Yeah, it was
For our next trip, it was spring break, so we packed a whole bunch of kids in the van and headed down through the wildflower blooms to our timeshare. The kids spent the first days just hanging out at the resort playing games and swimming in the pool. Eventually, we made it to California Adventure and Pixar Pier. Stella and Renee were riding the Incredicoaster for the first time. Renee was a little excited.
What did you think of riding in the front?
It was good? Wait, when did the picture take? Like at the end. Yeah. Like I was putting it down because I thought the picture's not.
What did you think of the Incredicoaster?
It was breathtaking.
That's a pretty good description.
It's not.
We checked out the renovations to Pixar Pier. Then we did a little shopping.
Questions about what?
About how our trip is.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question for you.
Okay, what is it?
Where did you get your inspiration to record our trip?
I don't know. We always, when I was a kid, my dad took pictures. He took slides and everything. So now that we can take videos with this teeny tiny video camera, I want to have videos. So did you get the teacup?
And then we headed to the Little Mermaid rig. After that, we hit Cars Land and headed to a couple more new rides for Isela and Renee. Guardians of the Galaxy and Grizzly River Run.
Stella has gone on Guardians of the Galaxy for the first time. What'd you think?
I thought it was awesome because that was time without
You were trying without noticing.
Yeah, look at all the wind. Well, there wasn't any wind, but I don't know how I was trying. But I loved it. I don't know how to
Recommend it? Alright, Renee has gone on Guardians of the Galaxy for the first time too. What did Renee think of it?
The drops are really, really scary and they take your breath away. Oh, no. I disagree with you.
What does Groot say?
I agree.
First time on Grizzly River Run, what'd you think?
That was awesome!
Yeah? Did you get soaked?
Yes.
Did you get soaked? No. Did you get soaked? No. Did you get soaked?
Not really.
My left foot got soaked.
My right foot got soaked. Put that in your Put on your camera.
All in all, I would say our first day at California Adventure was a big hit. The next day, we hit Disneyland proper. Isela had to get a fortune about her love life from Esmeralda.
I have to show Stella Esmeralda Please tell me about my love life.
It must have been a good fortune. Next up, we tried to hit Haunted Mansion.
Well, we're in the Caribbean right now, and we were just on Haunted Mansion. But then some medical lady or something had a problem, and so surprised, like the line completely stopped. So Renee got scared and she left. But then now we're in Pirate.
After Pirates, we went for a ride on the Columbia. I had only been on the Columbia maybe 3 other times ever, and no one else had ever ridden it. We'd ridden the Mark Twain several times, but usually by the time we got to the rivers of America, the Columbia was already shut down for the day. I see Star Wars Land over there. Do you? The kids decided to try out the water pump, but they used it more like a teeter-totter. Next, we headed to Fantasyland to check out Mickey and the Magical Map, but we arrived just too late. So we decided to ride on Small World instead. And then we checked out Mickey and the Magical Map after riding Small World.
Hey, Stella, what did you think of Mickey and the Magical Map?
I loved it. I loved all the music and the dancing. It made me feel really happy, and I would love to see it again sometime.
Cool.
Next up, we checked in our fast passes that we'd gotten in the morning for Space Mountain. After Space Mountain, we sat down to have a snack and watch the parade. The parade was Mickey's Sensational Parade, which ended just a few months after we had taken this trip in 2019, after running for 8 years. Jody and the kids and I had enjoyed this parade many times, but Isela and Renee had never seen it before. I'm glad they all got to see it before it was gone. That night, they were doing a special light and dance party where they light up Main Street and Small World with an animated show and play dance music. The day before we left, we headed to downtown Disney to do some shopping at the World of Disney store. And then we grabbed some lunch at the Earl of Sandwich before hitting the road. Our next visit was at the tail end of our summer RV trip, where we decided on a whim to see if there were any openings at any of the RV parks around. Luckily, we got one at Orangeland RV and headed into the park. Remember when the castle was being refurbished? Well, by June it was all fresh and new. On this trip, we checked out the live Lion King show at California Adventure and got soaked on the Grizzly River Run ride. But I won't go into a whole lot of detail on this trip, as there will be a whole series of videos about that summer RV trip coming up. Our next trip was after the opening of Galaxies Edge. We went for my birthday so I could build a lightsaber at Savi's workshop. The experience of building your own custom lightsaber is amazing, especially if you're a big fan of Star Wars like I am. It was extremely expensive and just a one-time thing, but the price is actually competitive with custom-built lightsabers you can get online. and the experience at Savi's is not something you can get anywhere else. Galaxies Edge itself is an amazing creation. When you walk in, it truly feels like you have landed on a different planet, somewhere on the edge of the Star Wars universe. Even if you're not a huge Star Wars fan, if you're just a fan of Disney and the way they get every detail right, then you will definitely appreciate what they have done at Galaxy's Edge. There are wandering paths that lead to cantinas and shops. You could really get lost just wandering around in the land. And of course, there's the Millennium Falcon in all its glory. We'll come back later and ride the Smuggler's Run ride with the Millennium Falcon. But for now, we just go exploring the land, which reveals all kinds of hidden details. There's plenty of places to take neat pictures. And the wandering cast members in full Star Wars costumes make it feel even more authentic. But what we came here for was to build a lightsaber. So let's take a look at the process of how you assemble the lightsaber in Savi's workshop before we go. After you pick out what color crystal you want, then you pick all your various different parts and assemble the lightsaber. With all the different parts available, there's hundreds of different combinations of lightsabers you can build, so each one is unique. What really can't be portrayed in this video is the interactiveness with the cast members who are all in character. That experience makes it worth it. Last up, we made a couple of short weekend trips in September and October before our passes expired, and to check out the Halloween decorations. This year, California Adventure was in on the decorations, including an ofrenda, where Jack and I had left notes for Grammy and Grandpa. Jack also suggested leaving a note for Stan Lee. Of course, Disneyland was also done up for Halloween, but nighttime is when the decorations really come to life. In California Adventure, they had lit up trees with purple lights, bats illuminated, and of course, all the sounds of the Oogie Boogie Man. And the nightly fireworks are a big part of that light show. During the day, we stopped into the Haunted Mansion's 50th anniversary exhibit to see some of the art and sculptures that went into designing the Haunted Mansion. They had model maquettes and busts. And several paintings that were for sale. We also made a trip back to Galaxies Edge to do some more exploring of Black Spire Outpost.
Black Spire. That's the Black Spire.
That is the very Black Spire that the outpost is named after. We had made a reservation to go to Oga's Cantina, but ended up canceling that. Instead, we went for a ride in the Millennium Falcon on the Smuggler's Run ride. Once again, I have to say that the detail in Galaxy's Edge is amazing, and the animatronics are state-of-the-art.
Today, I am offering the opportunity of a lifetime. I need flight crews to transport this valuable merchandise across the galaxy. Pilots to navigate. Engineers to operate the ship, and gunners to defend the shipment, and that is where you come in. This is an area of power. Oh no, for some very bad and very profitable expedition.
The detail put into the interior set for the Millennium Falcon is amazing. You could spend hours in here just looking around. Well, after our harrowing mission for Tanaka Transport Solutions, we decided to grab some lunch at the cargo bay. The theming in this restaurant is also outstanding. Some of the booths are cargo pods opened up, and the food on the menus even has strange and otherworldly names. And while the food was good, the portions were small and way overpriced. I don't think we'll ever be going back here. So that's a wrap for our trips to Disneyland in 2019. On the way out of our last trip, we spotted Boba Fett in Tomorrowland. See you next time, Boba. We'll be back soon.